This episode of Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast is dedicated to the memory of Jeff Beck and Lisa Marie Presley. Rest in peace. If you want some entertainment that's easier to find than classified documents at Joe Biden's house, go to www.NTTFGPOD.com and subscribe. I'm Rock.
And I'm Archie.
Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Hey, Rocky.
Hey, Jason.
I thought this was really noble. I thought this was cool. I thought this was dope. And it's not done in the music industry that much. Now, as we all know, right, Pantera came back and Rex Brown from Pantera gets COVID fucking like 2 songs in, and now you got somebody else filling in to do the
Shows
rest.
in?
What'd you say?
You get 2 songs in?
Shows it. Like he only, I don't know. He
songs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He got COVID in the middle of a set.
Oh, you're so.
Hey, Phil,
cute.
after the first break, I'm going to take a quick test.
Got COVID. No, but he played like 2 shows or something like that, and he fucking was on a plane home. But the band keeps going on. Many times you see, drummer, Volbeat. I went to go see Volbeat once, and the drummer was sick. Couldn't, but the show went on anyway. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sonny Sandoval from P.O.D. His grandmother passed away. And he was I think from what I know, I could be wrong, but I think his grandmother raised him. One of the figures, big figures in his life.
All right.
So he was, on social media, he was very hurt, all that stuff. Now, as we know, P.O.D. is a hardworking band. Like how they make money is how they tour and merch and stuff. They could not afford to skip this gig. That band needed to play. But Sonny needed to go home for the funeral. He wasn't missing the funeral. When do you see another singer fill in for a band?
It's rare. Who filled in?
Mikey Carvajal. I can't say his name. From Islander.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I feel like an idiot. And
did we play with Islander once? Yeah, we did.
No.
Yeah.
Is the J silent? Carvajal,
probably.
Carvajal.
We
Mikey
played with
Carvajal.
Islander, Arch.
Where?
Starland Ballroom.
Oh wait.
Islander and Non-Point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Butcher Baby.
You're correct. We did.
I remember watching their whole set, and I'm like, wow, okay, Islander. I'm down.
Oh, I liked them a lot. I like them. They're like a young POD.
Yeah.
Like a little well,
young POD.
Well, they are. They're like rap rockish, but I like their shit. But for I don't know if I'm putting in the wrong shit. I'm not finding any footage. I want to see how he fucking took to this stage. It was 2 weeks ago.
I'm a little upset I didn't get the call. Gotta be honest with you, but
I know. I don't understand why he wouldn't fucking call you, because he knows you.
Sonny, hit me up, Sonny.
You're a piece of shit. Like,
There you go.
You
POD, POS.
Shit. So Mikey from Islander filled in for the show. So that's a lot of props, bro. Like you want, and in a couple days notice, you definitely know there's like 2 or 3 bangers that you like. I know Boom. I know Youth of the Nation. I know Alive.
Yeah.
But there's a couple other songs that like they play. And I just thought that was really cool. And I'm looking for footage, and I don't know why I can't find any footage on YouTube, because every show is always at least a clip. But I'm gonna keep looking for it. But I really thought that was cool. And props to Mikey, and condolences to Sonny. and POD is always near and dear to my heart because I fucking love them. And they did a show right before Christmas in their hometown, Southtown, and and I watched the whole set, and I loved it as I was working. It was awesome. It was dope.
Arch, remember you took me on a date in the Bahamas?
Yes.
We got to see POD play at a private island. Remember the little pirate ship thing?
I fucking loved every minute.
We drew our names in the sand.
And he's not lying.
Story, folks.
Sent it home. Like
do you remember we were getting back on like the little boat to get back to the fucking big ship we were on? Do you remember Sonny was like trying to like he had beer and he like it looked like he thought he was like smuggling drugs from the island back to the, he's like, can I have he's like, he's a nice guy. He's like, can I have, I mean he's like trying to talk to the security guard and like what you're like
I said I know you know when you make somebody legitimately laugh or it's a pity laugh, right?
Either way, a laugh's a laugh.
I got a laugh out of him. So we're walking back, and we are 2 days into this shipwrecked that we went on and fucked up. And this is my birthday. It's January 23rd, and it's my birthday, and I turned 30. I turned 20, 21. Yeah, sure. And I think we had about fucking 9, 10 screwdrivers.
Easily.
Fucking just feeling no pain. And I walk up to Sonny. We're going on, and this is when he was like trying to smuggle the beer. And I look at him and I go, Sonny. He's different than on stage. He's like very like cool and collective and calm. And he's like, yeah, hey. I'm like, listen, I just want to say something. You know, I'm a big fan, and I really enjoy your music. And I was supposed to be here with my wife, but I took, you know, my best friend over there, but she's pregnant. So we found out she was pregnant, and he goes, oh, congratulations, player. Congratulations. I go, thank you. I go, you want to know what I said to my wife right before I left? And he goes, what'd you say? And I go, arigato, oh. He just fucking starts cracking up. If you remember, I don't know if you remember, I forget what album, like Midas Yahoo, like guest vocals on it, and P.O.D. arigato, oh. I just started fucking, I'm like, and I'm walking away cracking up. I'm like, you're just a stupid fuck. he got a kick out of that, but props to P.O.D. coming out with a new album soon, and we'll keep you guys lit on that motherfucker. There is a documentary on Netflix that I want you to watch, but I only watched the first hour. I only watched maybe like 45 minutes. It's called Take Your Pills, Xanax. And it shows all these people on how Xanax just calms them the fuck down. They're talking about all their fucking experiences about Xanax. Do you remember me taking Xanax when we were younger?
That was your tagline. Xanax calms you the fuck down.
That's right. And I'm lucky. I don't have an addictive personality too much. But I remember I went to my what's a stomach doctor called? Gastroenterologist. I went to my gastroenterologist, and I was having stomach problems in my early 20s, and I was like, dude, I don't know what it is, man, and something's going on. I think he diagnosed it as GERD, or what is it?
GERD is
acid reflux.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get these massive panic attacks. I think that's what it is. And back then, right, fucking prescribed anything you want. And he gave me Xanax. And I was like, holy shit. This takes the edge off of everything. Yeah. And I didn't get addicted, but like, I remember just after a night of drinking too much, you wake up in the morning and you're just like, my world is coming down.
The old anxiety.
You would take one Xanax and you're like, I swear I had a problem a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
You're golden.
Holy shit. But this documentary shows people like loving it and hooked on it and what it does mentally and psychologically and chemically to your brain. It's pretty fucking interesting. I think you would like it. I think you should check this out. It's called
but is it people that are abusing it? Then it's like, are they glorifying that? That's not cool.
No. Well, it's some people that did abuse it, but then there's like people that, were like, I'm glad I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're if I would have known then what I know now, I would have never started, that type of shit. But I just think it's cool to see how it blocks certain receptors in your brain that trigger anxiety, and you would think that like a pill does this. It's like so fucking weird how 1 minute you could be so vulnerable and the next minute you're like, well, I'll talk in front of 30 people for no reason.
It's all chemicals and levels in your brain, dude.
Fucking
right?
Xanax, Klonopin, what's another one? There was another, like the big three. There was another one that's like really
Xanax, Klonopin, and I don't know.
Remember an ex-guitar player that was in our band?
Yeah, there's a little rattler fucking keychain.
I go, is that a pill holder? I'm like, my grandmother has something like that. Yeah. Oh well, man, you never know when you need a Klonopin. Oh yeah, and those 2 Heinekens that you're slugging down. Like, what kind of fucking mix is that, son?
Yeah, that's no joke, man. You can't fucking, and that's I think too people. So Xanax so you said it blocks receptors in your brain. It actually slows your heart rate down, it slows your breathing down. So the problem is when you drink excessive alcohol with that, your body's like essentially like think like you're like dying. You're shut down too much.
Yeah.
No bueno.
I don't like it.
But
yeah, I haven't taken one in a long time, and I'm not really into that shit anymore. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't really get panic attacks anymore. But if I got fucking one that it was like, I can't control this, and I did have one, I would be like, break in case of emergency, break glass.
Or do a shot.
I know you battle some anxiety. How do you deal with it, and what's your methods?
And
how is your anxiety? How is your anxiety?
My anxiety is good.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know. You learn to deal with it over time, I guess. But yeah, Xanax. I only if I absolutely positively have to, have one, I'll take one. But other than that, it's like they're not. You don't want to be dependent upon something.
No, not at all. I used to have friends hit me up. Yo, Arch, you coming over? And I'm like, yeah. Why don't you bring a couple of those? I forget what they fucking call them. Some slang term. Why don't you bring a couple of those?
Bring a Zener over.
That's a Zener. That's right.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring a couple of Zeners over? And I'm just like, all right, no problem. But
nah, dude. You see, you can't take it recreationally. Like if you need it, you need it.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
Yeah, kids out there, if you're listening, don't do drugs. Want to hear some shit?
Yeah.
So, my license is a little fukacked. Laminate's coming off. I think my my broccoli wad in the hot summer sun melted on some of it. It's got like this ink. It's all messed up. So I went to go apply for a computer for like an Apple card,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to upload my license, and they wouldn't accept it. But if you have an iPhone, a photo from your iPhone, fuck you. I don't have a fucking iPhone. I have a fucking Droid, cunt.
Oh, you're the guy?
Yeah, I'm the guy. So you ready for this? So they won't accept my license. Too blurry. Take it with without shadows on a dark background.
Yeah.
I took it like 5 times. I brought it into Photoshop, sharpened it. Fucking no. Ugats. Nothing. I call the help desk. Well, maybe you should go visit an Apple store. No, that sounds like a real good time. So I go visit the store nerds, and I walk in, and Javier tries to help me out, right? So I'm like, "Hi, Javier. How you doing? This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this. Oh, I can help you with this, sir." I go, "All right." So I go, "I'm having trouble uploading my license." "Oh, really? Oh, I can help you out, man. Don't worry." Okay. So we get to the point. I sign in my Apple ID. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, "Oh, it's in my bag." Here, blah, 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 blah. Okay. "You have to upload a PNG or a JPEG, sir." I said, "Yeah, I know. Can't." "Oh, all right. Do you have an iPhone?" "No, I don't have an iPhone." "Oh, because if you had an I know." "Okay. I can upload your photo." No, okay. Let me talk to my manager. Talk to your manager. Comes back. He goes, "Listen, if you go to Staples, you could scan your license and you can upload either, see this, sir? It's called a PNG or a JPEG." I go, "I'm a graphic designer. I'm a video editor." "Oh." I go, "I know what a JPEG is and I know what a PNG is. I uploaded both." "Oh, well, you can go scan your..." I go, "No, you don't understand. I was going to fucking..." Oh, bro. I go, "I brought it into Photoshop. I sharpened it and it still won't work." "Oh, wow. Well, then I guess you know what you're doing. Maybe you need to get a new license." "Okay. Thank you for your help, sir." I leave. I go to DMV. I stop home. I haven't been to the DMV in so long. Do you remember the last time you were at the DMV?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually can't.
Okay. So I go get a passport, social security card, and my birth certificate. My birth certificate looks like a fucking 1950 napkin. Like it could just disintegrate. I go there. As I'm walking up, there's a woman outside. I go, "Hi." She's like, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yes. I'm looking to get a new license." "Oh, you could get it online." I said, "Oh, I'm looking to get it today, like now." "Oh, we don't do that anymore." Are you fucking kidding me? You don't do you?
What do you guys do?
What do you? What? Huh? I go, "No, I just want a license. Like I just want a new one." She goes, No, we don't do that anymore. We don't print licenses anymore." What? When did this happen? And why am I 80 years old? Like, how did this happen? Did you know that?
No.
So I go like this. I
What
go,
do you mean they don't print them? I don't get that.
"Watch this. Ready? Oh, is it this DMV? What DMV can I go to?" No DMVs print licenses anymore. So how do you get your license? Go online. I thought the whole thing was like you got to be in store to not fuck them. You got to present the right identification. You need 6 points. You need this. You need your fucking your mother's first fucking husband. Like, what the fuck? No. So I got my car. In 38 seconds, I ordered a new license.
Wait, so let me ask you this, though. There's something we have to get by next year called a real ID.
What do you mean?
There's a thing called a real ID.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you look at your license, it says this is not a real ID or something like that. It's like some kind of new form of license. Look at your license now. Do you have it on you?
No, I don't have it on me.
Oh, right.
Do you have it on you?
No.
Well then.
And there's that bit, folks. But it's something else. Like it's a different kind of ID you have to get if you want to travel internationally and all this stuff. So,
That's what I say. I just wanted my fucking. So that means when you're 17 years old, you'll get a fucking piece of paper until it comes in the mail. I
remember getting a piece of paper. It was like my moped fucking permit. I was 15. I was so fucking happy. I'm like, I got my permit.
Did you have one of those Italian mopeds?
I did. I had my first one was a Moto Marina. And then I had a Peugeot.
I had a Peugeot once. in Kingsburg.
Dude, I might get a moped now, actually. Fuck that.
Right?
Yeah, why not?
I would love to see you going to work on a moped with your suit. Oh, rock. Well, listen, to anybody out there, if you're as dumb as we are, you can't get you don't go to the DMV if you want your license.
I mean, but what do you go to DMV for then? Renew your fucking plates? I don't know. Do it online. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
I guess. Yeah. To take the picture? I guess to take the picture? Why don't you just upload a picture then? I don't know.
I mean, it's you.
I don't know.
I walk a 100-pound pit bull down the street. I'm a tough-looking son of a bitch, okay? I walk a 3-pound peekaboo down the street. They're looking for my husband walking behind me.
Yo, Rock.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, it's a good time over here, my friend. You want to know why?
Tell me.
I think we got a fellow New Jerseyan coming on the podcast. Another, hearing him, he sounds like a Gumbachiche, but he might be Portuguese. But we'll find this out. We'll see what happens here. So this guy he's got a web series. He is a stand-up comedian, which is fucking funny. He's got a podcast. It's like what can't this guy do? Everybody needs to cover all facets of this shit nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Does it all?
Yeah. Welcome to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast, Joe Fernandes. What's up, Joe?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
How are you? How's it going?
It's going good, man.
So you're a Jersey boy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, grew up in East Brunswick, New Jersey, Central Jersey. Some people say Central Jersey doesn't exist, but those are conspiracy theorists. I grew up there.
Is it fucking weird? It's so weird. All right, so we're northern New Jersey. All right.
Where are you guys at?
All right. So we're up by like the Wayne area.
I live in Parsippany now, so it's right there.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So people say Central. People think like almost where, we grew up in Bloomfield, him and Rocco and I. Mm-hmm. So like a little bit south from there, people could call it Central, which is not even close to being Central.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, over the Raritan is fucking weird, and it's south.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Mason-Dixon line is like, that bridge over Perth Amboy.
That's
okay.
It.
Yeah.
Central Jersey's a little bit west of that. It's like your East Brunswick, your South Brunswick, your New Brunswick.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
everything else is North Jersey. Everything else is Piney Town.
Oof, my in-laws are from Lyndhurst, and they moved to fucking Whiting, like right by Tom's River almost.
Oh yeah.
And my mother-in-law had fucking Pineys.
All yeah, but now, but no, that's like Brooklyn South. That's like a weird little nook. Everyone from Brooklyn just moves there. If they didn't go to Staten Island, they went there.
Yeah,
true.
Or they went there after Staten Island. It's like it was stop number 3 or 2 after Brooklyn.
See, the problem is for people like us who grew up in your area, our area, we think that Jersey ends right after like Seaside or Atlantic City. Meanwhile, it truly the center of New Jersey is probably like around like Point Pleasant, like that area, right? It's not really the shore. I mean, it's the shore, but it's not like it's like halfway through the state.
Yeah. Well, there's some parts of New Jersey that even shock me. That's New Jersey. Like I did I did a fundraiser one time. I performed that for the town Mike Trout is from.
Okay.
Mike
Oh,
Trout, the player on the Angels.
Yeah.
And I forget the name of the town, bro, but I was like, it was Hillbilly Central. Like I felt like so out of place, and I grew up in this state. I'm like, I can't believe these are the same people.
Yeah, I know, man. Me, we mention this all the time, but Rocco and I have been playing in bands for years, right?
Mhm.
So it's fucking just like, you know, you at the clubs, I'm sure you got to sell some tickets. So we played a couple gigs down the shore, South Jersey, and I remember going on Craigslist and saying, you know, I'm playing and I'm opening up for I'm not drawn as a local, but I'm opening up for headliners, so that's the shtick, right? Oh yeah. We'll take 5 tickets. I'm meeting people in the fucking back roads off the parkway, where I'm like, I've never seen this type of people in my life, and like that's not too far away from me. And this is Jersey. We got some weird people, man. Weird people in South Jersey. No offense, guys.
No.
You just want an excuse to go to the fucking rest stops on the.
Yo, my dad had a hunting club down in Barnegat, New Jersey. I don't know if you've been to Barnegat. That's like
we played in Barnegat.
And we used to go for Buck Week, like first weekend of December. And one night of the week, the hunting club would all go to this bar called the Woodshed. And there was like dead deer hanging out the front, and they would get Philadelphia strippers to come and like in the corner on milk crates. It was like I felt like I was like walking into some movie scene. I'm like, this can't be here all the time.
Yeah. Oh God. Now something. All right, not like hunting, but something equivalent to that. You ever eat at fucking Steve's Sizzling Steaks? Do you know where that is?
Yeah, I went there once with my old podcast co-host for my old Mike Gaffney took me there, and I needed like 3 gallons of water after that. It was like the saltiest. I mean, it's amazing. I want to go back, but like it's almost like you have to prep yourself for.
Yeah.
I walked in and I thought it was 1970. I was born in 79 and I thought it was 75.
Yeah.
Rug. Like it was just like for a steakhouse, it was just like, oh Jesus Christ. It was great. It was great.
I like that in a steakhouse. Like there's something like if I walk into a steakhouse and they still have like a Spuds McKenzie statue, you're like, I kind of like the old recipe's still here. Like they haven't moved on.
Yeah.
Max Headroom is in like the bathroom. You're like,
Max Headroom.
This place rules.
So if it works, stay with it, right? Why
exactly. Yeah.
All right. So I'm glad you wrote me back. I contacted you a couple months ago. But you know, you were square, you were nice. You were like, hey man, you know, my shit got lost. And I'm like, yeah, gotta come on. And you know, we reach out to a lot of people to get people on the podcast. I look at your name and I'm like, Joe Fernandes. And I'm trying to think of like one of the skits. And I don't remember if this was one of the, it was something like, cause I just kind of like related to it. It was about going on vacation, your vacation wife.
Oh yeah.
There's a difference between wife and vacation wife.
Yeah, vacation wife's into me. That's
because I'm listening to this skit and I'm like, we just got back from vacation, right? And I remember my wife. We got the kids. We're driving back, and she looks at me, and we had a fucking great vacation. I won't even get into it, but it was one of our first family vacations. I have young girls, okay. And I look and I'm like, you know, this was, as a man, as a father, this was like a first real good vacation. And we're driving home and I'm like feeling great. And she looks at me, she's like, did you call that fucking guy? Remember the guy? We were going to fix. And I'm looking, I'm like, yeah. Well, no, no, listen, did you fucking call? Like, I'm like, whoa, you changed. Whoa, where was we were in Wildwood. You were tickling my bald head. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, at least wait till you get to the front door.
But that skit that you had, it was funny.
Yeah, I said she changes right on the plane. It's like this, yeah, dude. It's like what happened to the girl who was giving me eyes?
I hear you, man. But I'm glad you reached back out. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I apologize for that. It's one of those things. The email, I just was flicking through and then I saw it and I'm like, oh shit, I'd love to do this. So.
Yeah, man. And
We appreciate it.
Yeah, fellow New Jerseyan, and we I started to do a deeper dive into your stuff, and I'm a video editor at Trade, and I appreciate the web series because I'm sure this is something you're doing on your own if you want to get into it. You know what I'm saying?
I was a video editor by trade and producer and stuff. So
okay,
I've been doing that stuff for years. So
yeah,
it helped make the web series cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Arch, that's weird. I saw how good his shit is and all the stuff he can do as a video editor, but yet our stuff being in a band together doing this and weird.
And this is why my co-host is a cunt. Yes, very much so.
Anyway, I don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
I don't know, Joe. It is the web series, and it was shot well. I could tell, obviously camera wise, it was shot well. Funny. I was digging it. I caught like the first 2 episodes with the therapist and everything like that. I don't know if I need a therapist. I'm married. Please tell us about it though. Like, how'd you start it? Why'd you start it? All that stuff.
I wrote episode 2 as just a one-off sketch one time. I never thought that was going to be a series.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it was based off a true story in my life where a girl broke up with me when I was younger because I don't listen. And I didn't hear her break up with me. So I called her to see if she wanted to hang out. She's like, what are you talking? She's like, we broke up. I'm like, when? In my defense, I was a teenager, a lot of pot back then.
Yeah.
And I already have ADD without the pot. So
yeah.
It just was like one. I always think back of that. It's like one of those stories you're so embarrassed about. But you're like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But like I even told her. I think I was like, I know you're mad at me, but this is pretty funny, right?
Yeah.
She's like, no, actually, I don't want you to call me anymore. And then they're in 2020. One of my old acting teachers invited me to a writing group, just do something. We were doing it on Zoom every Monday. I just started putting episodes together. Just was doing it, and then stand up wasn't really back even good in 2021.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got this free time and some of this free government money. Let's go make the web series.
So did you hire a production company, or how did you go about filming this?
There's Jim Andrinos. He's a comic from New York. He owns a studio in Colonia, New Jersey called New Media Comedy.
Okay.
And they have a studio, a few different studio rooms, and I made all the sets in there. I just produced it myself, called in favors.
Yeah.
I had some of the cast acting as crew.
Yeah.
I fed them. I offered them money, but a lot of people wouldn't take it. They enjoyed having something to do because nobody was really working.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And I just told them all, I'll do anything for whatever project you want.
Yeah.
Whether it be camera, editing, you guys got, and I was just grateful to everyone coming together and doing it for me. And I was very happy with it. You know what I mean? It came out, pretty great because everyone did great. You know what I mean? Because directing and acting in a show is so hard. I never did that before. It was,
I'm sure,
crazy on the brain.
Yeah. Well, I know I checked out 2 episodes so far. I'm going to check out the rest. But I like what I see so far, I mean, it's something that's definitely another creative outlet that you can, utilize. You got your stand-up, your web series, you get your podcast. How do you feel nowadays that you just can't be a stand-up comedian? You have to work all the angles. You need to be social media. You need to have the podcast. You need to do that. You need to, it's not just writing the joke and you're done.
Yeah, some people don't like it. I kind of do. Because I started comedy. It's like 04, 05, around that time.
And
there was nothing for you to do. And so what do you do? It's like there was just nothing. So you go bomb at shows and then you have nothing else to do back then. But like now you can make stuff and it could be fun and you could reach people.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's a lot of work, but I don't know, man. What else are we doing? Like I have nothing else to do with it's not like there's something else waiting for me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's like, but I enjoy podcasting. The web series was a lot of work, but doing it all. I mean, that's just what we do.
What got you into doing stand-up in the first place? Like what was what was the impetus? Like, you know what? I want to go on stage by myself, put it all out there, be very vulnerable, but do this.
I still don't even like it was so weird how it came about because like I a lot of friends of mine are like, I know I wanted to be a comic when I was 5. I'm like, I always thought comedy was cool, but when you're young, you're like, these guys are just naturally funny. You don't know it's an act. You're like that's crazy how funny these guys are consistently. Because all you saw is comedy specials, like they're best of the best.
Yeah, exactly.
And I never even knew there was like a coming up in comedy. I didn't know there was like a process, like open mics and shitty bar gigs. I didn't know that existed. I'm in recovery, and I was involved in 12-step fellowships, like helping run conventions and stuff.
Okay.
And there was a comic we used to always hire for that, Mike DiStefano. Mikey D, very popular New York comic. He's since passed.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, one of the, like, if you ever go to the comedy club, The Stand, they have like their logo is his like profile picture.
Oh,
that's how like well respected he was in New York. And somebody said, "Hey, you should try comedy. You should why don't you MC the comedy show this year?"
Yeah.
So I call Mikey D and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I was like, people were saying I should try comedy. I'm like, I was wondering, would you mind if I MC the show for you guys? Just, do like a few minutes of comedy and bring you guys up. He goes, oh, I'd love it. I love seeing people in pain.
Yeah.
And my first show was in front of 300 people.
Oh, wow. My God.
Yeah. And I actually have an audio cassette tape of it. That's how long ago this was.
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
Oh,
and I only did decent because it was like hometown. It was like I'm performing for my family.
Okay.
And I was like doing like because I used to speak at like these recovery meetings, telling my story and make people laugh. So I just kind of like put that there.
Went that route. Yeah.
Went that route. Then the next week I went to a club where nobody knew me and it took a hot punch right in the face. I was like, wow, you guys don't like me naturally. This is an interesting thing I'm doing here.
So I got a lot of laughs last week. What's going on here?
It's addicting. Like
I can imagine.
It's like drug addiction, where it's like when you do well, you're like, I'm doing this every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And then you have a bad night. You're like, I'm never doing this again. Why do I do this to myself? And then you're sitting home one day. You're like, all right, just one more time.
Yeah.
And then it's just like this vicious cycle. I'm sure music's the same way.
Yeah. I mean,
it definitely is. But, and I've said this before, we always have on people in bands, lots of comedians. And to me, being a stand-up comedian, like, I'm in awe of that because you're by yourself. It's just you. Like, we could fuck up a song and we could look at each other. You got 4 other guys on the stage with you that it's like they're sharing either the embarrassment or like whatever it is. But like when you're by yourself and it's like the only way that you're going to get in or out of the situation is by talking. Like, how do you come to grips with that?
Well, I was in bands a lot when I was like in my 20s and stuff, and you can bomb in bands too. Like, so I remember being like it. We did like Maxwell's in Hoboken where you have to like sell your own tickets, and you just do this song, you put all your energy into it, and then it's done, and like no one's giving you any energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to pretend you still have it. So you're like, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, right back in. But inside, you're like, I'm dying. But
oh God,
with comedy, I guess because just the experience makes you better at handling that. But it's like kind of good in a way because you can go rogue. Like if it ain't working with your act, you could just do anything.
Yeah.
Like where music, you're not going to be like in the middle of a song, like, oh, let's turn this one into slow jazz.
Yeah.
Like, let's see if they like that.
Because like, I can see myself if I was up there and like bombing, just looking like at people, just going, I guess you guys just don't like this, do you?
No, you can't say that. I mean, you could eventually if like you really have been
going through the ring, like,
and then they would eat you alive after that, Arch.
I mean, is there any like shows that you can kind of reference offhand that like you were just like, I am eating hot garbage right now and I don't know what to do? Or
early on, and when I've had experience, it still could happen.
Yeah,
like do it, or early on it was funny because you have no skills. You just really, and you have no ability to know this. Like this could just be a shitty night. You're just like, I suck.
Yeah.
So I remember emceeing this show, and I'm not doing well, and I didn't have a lot of time back then, and the headliner was late. So like they're like, you got to eat time,
stretch,
and I'm like, oh my, and I already used up everything I had. You know what I mean? And that barely worked. So I'm really just pulling out ideas, and then some guy from the bar, you know, back then you're doing shows with the bars in the room, and he's like, I hear is, what are you doing up there? Oh. So I don't know. It's like at first I'm not registering it's me that he's talking to, because I'm just in my own bomb like psychosis. And I hear him, he goes, what are you doing up there? And I'm like, oh, comedy. And he goes, get off the stage.
Oh God.
So it was at that point I just didn't know what to do. I was like a deer in headlights, and the headliner walked in. I'm like, you guys ready for your headliner? Let's go. Like I just froze. It was painful, but like back then I bombed so much that it was like I was kind of used to it in a way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're like, I do stink.
Yeah.
But like I did a casino one time up in like somewhere up in like upstate New York. I forget. And I was opening for my buddy. And casinos want to start the show on time, whether there's anybody in the room or not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big theater. Like the Impractical Jokers sold it out like a month before. That's how big this theater was. Okay. And they were doing comedy night with 2 unknowns. So you get it. It's like a 1,000-seat theater, and there's like trickling in 35 people while I'm on. Old people and walkers, and they introduce me. So I'm basically talking to people while they're figuring out where they got to sit. And I'm trying to talk to them to do crowd work, but it's weird crowd working in the theater, and they're not paying attention because they're not sat yet. So I'm just like, then a few like sit, and I'm just bombing. It just ain't working. In the theater, you hear your voice echoing because there's no people.
Yeah.
So like when your punchline doesn't hit, it's like pop, comes back to you. You're like, oh God,
comes back to you and bomb again.
It's brutal. So then I just saw a lot of old people there, and I just told a quick joke about my grandma's ugly toes. Okay. And it got enough of a response where it gave me like some juice, you know, in my body. I'm like, okay, all right. And I go over to, and now when I'm bombing, I'm just cotton mouth like crazy. Like I'm just like trying to So I walk over to the stool, and like I said, I am tripping. There's like this thing that happens to your brain when you bomb, where you're watching yourself perform. Mm-hmm. You're outside of yourself, and I grab the water to take a sip, and I just poured too early. Like I missed I started pouring water in the center of my chest. I'm wearing like a gray shirt. I'm just, and they just start laughing like it's a bit or something. Like,
hey, Gallagher's here.
Crazy. He'll do anything. And I was so ashamed, and they laughed, and I saw the time was almost time for me to go. I was like, good night, everybody. Like it was my big closer, but it was just such an, I think I sometimes think about that night, and I still can go right back to that feeling like, it's brutal. It was just because I had nothing. I had nothing. Nothing. Yeah. They like none of me. Every part of me that I saw them, they're like, we don't want this.
So then like, and again, I'm trying to draw the parallels to like being in a band and doing that. Like we've played shows where like we execute the songs perfectly. The response is like, eh. There's shows that were like sloppy as shit. It doesn't, and people are like, and it's like the fucking crowd in the room. They're like, yeah, and then they come up, yeah, you guys are the best. I'm like, meanwhile, like we just like fucking laid a turd on stage, but yet, like when we've played good, sometimes you don't get the reaction. So do you see that a lot?
Yeah, well, that's
real
because it was real, and I think they connected with you because it was like sometimes some of my some shows were like, I'll get like people messaging me after that. It's not always when I did my jokes perfectly and they worked when they should. It's like sometimes I just get into like some rhythm where I'm like, you're doing stuff that's only going to work there that night with this crowd. It would be crowd work or just a thought in your head off another joke, and you're like your natural self. Like, so it's not even going how you plan, but it's working. And then you get to that. Then you get this cockiness where you like the next night you're like, I'm gonna be that guy again, and it was just that night, that crowd, these jokes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I actually love those nights where I'm not like doing the act, where I have like such a fun crowd where I have like freedom to fuck up, like you said, like
and I'm sure the crowd. It's like 30 seconds of a riff. All of a sudden, you hear, I think like in one of those skits that I was hearing, it was like, hey, Kathy cackling. So like you're going, so you're like riffing back and forth with an audience member, a couple seconds here and there. It's so you're feeding off them, And
that was a track from the album, Laughing Kathy. Because when I was I never expected those to be an album, but COVID came and I put those together into an album because I was recording myself every night at Uncle Vinny's one week.
That's a Point Pleasant, right?
In Point Pleasant, and because I was like, I wanted to like not make it this is the taping night. I wanted to try and capture just like a natural club night, where it's like, and I felt like I got that with that, where it's like this laughing person, just like this organic show.
Is there like a any nights you walk in and you're like, it's gonna be a good night and you're pumping yourself up, but you have to pull an audible. You're like, I can't do these. I can't do some certain jokes tonight, man, or I can't. Like they're not. This isn't gonna go well. You see the crowd ahead of time,
Oh, like based on how they're doing with other people.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
or
if
stick
it's
to
in
do
if
stick
it's
to
in
your
a club
guns.
and it's like anything goes, I do what I do, and if they don't like it, I'll audible on stage because I don't want to totally bomb. You know what I mean? I'm not like stubborn, like, no, you're gonna hear these jokes in this order the way I planned. No, but I can never judge what they're giving somebody else. You know what I mean? Because the problem, if I go up there with that mentality, then I bomb, then I won't know where I'm at.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to go up there like, fuck you, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, that's fine. But at least I'll be able to live with myself. And I wasn't like, what do they call that? I don't know. My brain ain't working. Like when you give them what they want.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm a huge fan. Like I maybe not so much so more now, but I want to get back into it, going to see stand-up comedy. And I love when I see comedians do crowd work, because it's maybe it's to me it's like specific to that show and the people that are there, and it's not just like a comedian going down their list or trying new jokes, like that kind of stuff. But like, how much of your crowd work? I mean, you must have some staples that you go to.
I don't do a lot of crowd. Like I do crowd work if it's in the moment and it's organic. Like I don't go for crowd work. I mean, sometimes you have to. If you have like a dud crowd, you just have to like figure something out. But I don't. It's not like my go-to, so I don't have any like stock crowd work.
Okay.
Because you can always tell the guys that have the stock crowd work. They try to make it seem like it's in the moment, but it's not. And it's like, I don't know. That's corny to me. Like, like
so
if
like
it's,
forcing
I like crowd work. Like if crowd work in the moment that only work that night is the best. You know what I mean? Like there's just guys that are good at it. You know what I mean? Like I don't find myself good at it. I feel like when I'm doing it, it's more survival mode or
Gotcha.
Or this crowd's so fun. You can't help but banter with them.
Yeah.
One of those, you know.
It's funny you say that, Rock, because like a guest that we had on that we really love is Mark Norman, right? And he's fucking legit at crowd work. And what I see him doing, which is like starting to become, I don't know if you want to call it a trend, but I'm seeing it more and more, is that he'll do like 5-10 minutes of crowd work at the end of each set. And that will be his content for social media without giving away his act. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, so I'm starting to see that more and more. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, if they could find it, if it was a good banter, you know, if they got somebody, if somebody came up with a good topic or something. But it's pretty good for social media nowadays. I mean,
yeah, well, the way he does it's good because like he asks them to throw out like a topic and then he tries to riff on the topic.
Yeah.
I just don't like, hey, where are you from? What do you do? It's like, I don't care.
Corny.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so funny. And again, I can't relate to it. I'm not a stand-up comedian, but Archie would be like, you know what? You should probably write down some stuff you're going to say in between songs. Right. And so like anytime I tried doing that, it was like the fucking most forced, like shitty, corny thing. Right. And then sometimes I can tell you it is the crowd, like where some nights the crowd's like fucking stone face, and in between songs, I don't even know what to say. I don't know. Like I'm trying to be funny. I'm not. I'm like, I just like don't talk. And some other nights it's like if the crowd's good, it's just like it seems to flow.
Just be in the room with them. Don't do done stuff. Just acknowledge whatever weirdness is happening.
That's it.
They like that. You got to listen, man. When I suck, I tell them, I'm like, man, I suck today. And it relieves them. Like, oh, good. We're not the only ones that are feeling this. Like he knows he sucks, and it almost makes them like you, and you can like redeem yourself. Like,
well, I mean, we are a rock band, and Rocky's saying, "Hey, try the chicken."
What's your band name?
War for the Crown.
For the Crown.
War for the Crown.
Oh, War for the Crown. Cool. What kind of music is it?
I would say like heavy rock.
Nice.
Sounds like more like you know, like Down and Clutch.
Yeah.
Like that type of
Black
type of shit.
Society type.
Yeah, we actually just did we were lucky enough to play Dingbats in Clifton a couple weeks ago. You remember that show, That Metal Show?
Yeah, I just worked with Florentine recently.
Jim, nice. All right, so those three guys, it was That Metal Show annual holiday bash.
Nice.
And we did a 45-minute Pantera set.
Dude, I
love
to see that.
So it was cool. It was a good time. There was a Motley Crue cover band, 6 Seconds to Mars. They were really good.
They're really good, yeah.
Yeah. A Black Sabbath cover band, and then another rock band. And then we just did 45 minutes of Pantera and just got our rocks off for a little bit. You know, it was a good time.
That's great, man.
Yeah, it's our hobby, so we enjoy it. You know,
what else are we doing?
What else are we doing?
Exactly.
So speaking of what else you are doing, there's Daydream Legend. You have a podcast now. You had a podcast with a co-host not too long ago.
All in our heads. We had that for years.
Okay.
And then we did it a lot during COVID, and then Mike started getting cruise ships.
Okay.
And, he's just not around a lot, so we just,
So you
grew
ventured on your own
the podcast. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
It was kind of at the end anyway. Like we did it for a long time, and I think it was just organically felt like, what more can we do with this?
Sure.
And then I like podcasting, and I was like, I just like riffing. I still don't even know what my podcast is. Like I'm still like just like I just do weird news stories. I have weird call-ins, and it's almost like a thing for me to be creative, maybe come up with new bit ideas, just kind of riff. Like I tell people, don't listen, because if you don't listen, it's great, because it's probably stinks. but some people like it. Some people are digging it. People always ask me like the title, Daydream Legend, and like, what does that mean? And I was watching an interview with Post Malone.
Okay.
And they asked him how he got his name, Post Malone. He said he got it on an internet rap name generator.
Is that right?
Which I thought was I'm like, that is so cool. Like I really like this guy now. Like that's how unpretentious he is. His stage name is a rap name generator. So I did that. There was like a series name generator on this website called Fantasy Name Generator, and like one of the first ones that came up was Daydream Legend. I told my wife, she goes, "Oh, that's you. You're fucking always in the clouds."
Yeah.
just drifting, just constantly. So I'm like, yeah,
that's it.
And it's good because then people are like, it makes no sense. People are like, what is that?
Yeah.
So
get all deep with it. What is that? Like, how did you?
That? What does that mean?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. It's hard to name a podcast because there's 7 million and every name is taken. Try having the name Joe. You can't get a podcast with the name Joe. There's 700,000 Joe versions of the Joe Show. What's up with Joe? Hey Joe. Like
right before COVID hits. Okay, maybe like 3-4 months. I'm walking my dog. And I've been talking to Rocky probably, the past couple months prior to that. I'm like, yo, man, we're going to start a podcast. He's like, yeah. And, I'm just figuring, right? Nobody has any idea how to start this or what to do. So we go to start this and we need a name. And, it's like, what the fuck are we going to do? Like, I don't know. I have no idea, like, what are we, And I'm walking my dog and I'm stoned. And I'm just fucking walking them, and I'm just it's fucking quiet in my block, and I'm like, fucking guys. I don't know the fucking guys, man. And like, fucking not these two fucking guys. not these two fucking guys podcast. I went, that's it.
Is that how we got
it?
Yeah, that's how I got it. I was high as hell. I was walking my dog.
There you go.
But it's there's so many fucking podcasts. There's so many like if you want to,
there is, but it shouldn't prevent people from doing it. People say,
no.
Dude, there's so many podcasts. Like comedians will tell me, dude, there's so many podcasts. I'm like, do you know how many comedians are out there? Do you you're doing one of the hardest, you're trying to make it one of the hardest things. I go, guarantee you'll get more podcast listeners than comedy fans in your first 5 years.
Oh my God.
Because you can get your stuff out there. There's especially with YouTube, with the algorithm and stuff. Like, I don't know how people find audio podcasts anymore. Because like once I saw Rob Lowe's doing a podcast, I'm like, how am I going to do a podcast? Fucking Rob Lowe. He should be swimming in his millions, not podcasting. It's almost insulting.
I'm not even joking around. I think last year.
Actually, I like his podcast though. Just put it out there.
Is it good?
Yeah, pretty good. He's Rob Lowe. He's young.
I mean,
nice.
what?
Does he talk how he eats Atkins?
That's fucking young. That's young blood right there, bro. Young blood.
Nothing though. I'm pretty sure Rob Lowe sold his soul to the devil because he looks like he's fucking 35 years old.
Well, he hawks this skin cream, and I'm like, I think I gotta get
it. I'll take 2.
I gotta.
If we're going there, Eddie Murphy looks 41.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. The other night, the Golden Globes.
Yeah,
he looked like he was 44 years old.
Dude, I saw this thing. I saw this picture. It says like time is unforgiving or something like that. So it was Tom Cruise and a little kid from Jerry Maguire, and then Tom Cruise and the kid from Jerry Maguire now. And Tom Cruise looks fucking younger than him. How is that possible?
Scientology, baby. That
seriously
keeps you young.
L. Ron Hubbard, you won't age.
I'm sure being wealthy. I'm sure they get the best of best. Just have like hot women massaging face cream into you. Why do you look so young? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I have slaves.
Yeah,
exactly. Fucking
do all my work.
The chef cooks you the healthiest meal possible 3 times a day.
Yeah, I'm not going through a drive-through after a horrible set on the Jersey Turnpike, throwing Shake Shack in my face, asking why am I doing this? No, Tom Cruise never had that day in his life. Neither did Rob Lowe. They showed up in Hollywood. They're like, you're in movies.
Yeah, that's it. Look at you, handsome gentleman.
So like a year ago, I'm looking around and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, a lot of podcasts out there. Every celebrity has a podcast now. This is not fair. I mean, yes, it shouldn't deter anybody from having one, but it's like, what the fuck? Like, not only am I going up against like some fucking YouTuber out of his fucking mom's basement that has like, I don't know, a fucking million views, but now, Rob Lowe or fucking Dax Shepard with his one armchair fucking podcast and shit. Why don't the Rock just start a fucking podcast?
All right, but you got to look at it this way, like what he's saying too. Like, there's a million stand-up comedians out there. There's a million bands out there. There's a million fucking TV shows, and there's a million
million actors.
Yeah.
Everything's flooded. Like anything in entertainment, there's too many people doing it, and there's gorgeous people doing it before you. Like
seriously,
there's gorgeous comedians. It's like you see that bothers everybody. Like hot comedians, you're like, you shouldn't be doing this. This should be for the average looking and below person. Like it's insulting that you didn't use your good looks for modeling.
And like comedians, I think this is, I don't know, like a weird thing, but like comedians with muscles, like a like a muscular comedian just looks awkward.
Yeah, I don't think you can get big enough. I don't think you can get big laughs if you get too muscular.
It's just weird, right? Isn't it just and it shouldn't be, because if you're
Carrot Top said that ruined him a little bit. Like he had to like tone down the muscles, even
because if you're funny, you're funny. It doesn't matter what the fuck you look like, right? But it just looks awkward. It's just a fucking awkward thing. You see a dude come up on stage and he's jacked up. It just looks weird.
Yeah, you don't see it a lot though. I don't see too many jacked famous comics.
And that's why I bet when you see like Rogan go on stage, he's always wearing like button downs and he's always wearing like long sleeves.
Yeah,
you know? That's like, I'm assuming that's one of the reasons, but whatever.
I saw a guy one time at an open mic years ago, like a meathead bombing, and he like the crowd was like telling him he sucked, and he like tore his shirt off. He's like, "You guys want to go?" I'm like, "I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is about to happen." Like, he wanted to fight them. I'm like, bro, take your bomb like a man and go home. It's like, you're gonna rip your shirt off.
That's his shtick.
Like he ruined his shirt to like show how tough he was. He's like, you want me? I'm like, hey, Hulkamania.
Yeah. All crashing down and it burns.
I think there was a time when that was on YouTube. Actually, it was like years ago. It was
I was like, great.
This is amazing.
But like conversely too, what about like heavy set comedians and they lose weight and it's like people don't think they're as funny as they were for some reason, right?
I don't see that with comedy, because I think when you're a comedian, you're funny. You know what I mean? Like if you lose weight, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like when people battle, like some of the funniest comedians are comedians that have problems, that have battled something.
No doubt.
Like weight or drugs, or you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I guess that'll hurt a overweight comedian if like that was the sole act he did.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then like he lost all that material because now he's fit.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that person would be funny enough to make fun of that.
Well, then
I think it hurts actors like that.
Rip their shirt off and
to rip their shirt off. Be like, yo, I'll show you guys what you've been missing. Like that actor on Seinfeld that played Newman. Like I think I saw him. He lost weight and wasn't getting as many roles because it's like a typecasting type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think actors have more of that problem, but
yeah, you're right.
Like I think, like Jonah Hill, like you just imagine him when his funniest when he's overweight. Like you couldn't picture Jonah Hill ripped being funny.
He's good. Like he's a very good actor. He just, something about his face just bothers me. I don't know.
Right.
It just bothers.
It's random.
That's so random.
So random hatred. Let's just
face.
Throw one of the greatest actors of this generation under the bus for absolutely no reason. Dude's great. I just don't like his face. Other than that,
I don't know what it is. I look at him. And
how can you actually like someone but not their face? I don't think you really like.
And you don't like them then.
Because you can't get, if you don't like someone's face, you can't. The relationship's over. Believe me, a lot of girls have moved past me based off the face.
He didn't listen to him when they said that, but
what was that movie he was in with Leonardo DiCaprio with the stock, like the
Wolf of Wall Street?
Great part. Great part. Great.
He's great in everything.
Great. He's great. Just don't like his face.
I just don't like. I like his face. I'll defend his
so
face.
In that
very nice face.
You didn't like his face, Arch, probably because they had him wearing like fucking veneers or like something like that. He was very toothy.
No.
So maybe that's why you didn't like his face. I think you need to give him another chance.
No, because
watch Superbad tonight.
He's got a fucking documentary on Netflix right now called Stunt. Oh,
it's about his therapist.
Don't like his face. Yeah, I fucking. It's that black and white fucking sepia tone with his raggedy fucking cunt little beard. I was like,
nothing about that documentary sounds appealing. I want to meet your therapist. I couldn't think of something more boring. than meeting someone's therapist. Like,
So Arch, why all this hate on Jonah Hill? Did he like?
yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I've
did he
never
hit on
said
your wife at like a meet and greet or something like that? Like, what happened? What's the real story? Here?
I've never said this before in my life. I don't know why. It just came out. Fucking Joe just brought out this hate for Jonah Hill for me.
I was praising him. It was probably walking around the street, fucking stoned, thinking of podcast names. And Jonah Hill came in like, fuck that guy.
All right, well, Arch, listen, this is awkward, but I just got a guest that canceled for next week. Jonah Hill was coming on to talk, but
oh well, not right. So, Joe, tell us, what do you got coming up, brother? What do we got? We got some shows. Are we going on a little tour? What do we got going on?
Well, I wouldn't say tour, but there's definitely shows coming up. Like January is always pretty dead for me. I'll be in the city doing some just regular spots, but nobody's gonna come to those.
Oh, you're gonna be at Paisanos, bro.
I'm at Paisanos, at the end of February. That's a great show.
I didn't know they did comedy.
They do it once a month.
Okay.
For like the past 8 years. I'm headlining Uncle Vinny's February 1st and 2nd. I'm at Paisanos February 23rd, and I'm opening up for Dave Landau. You know Dave Landau? Very funny comedian. I'm opening up for him in Jim Thorpe, PA at the Mauch-Chunk Opera House.
Okay.
And at the Newtown Theater in Newtown, PA that following weekend, the 24th and 25th. And I'm updating my calendar, joefernandez.net soon. Some stuff's coming up in March. And
perfect.
Myrtle Beach I'm going down to. And
nice. You go golf? You gonna golf while you're there?
I used to golf back in the day. Me and my brothers did. Then they started having babies, so they couldn't go anymore.
Those fucks. Brother, thank you very much, man. It was very nice talking to you. You know, we got a couple laughs. I really appreciate it, man. This was a fun time. JoeFernandez.net, right?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, man. We can't wait to see where you go from here, man. And then maybe we can check in with you later down the road. Maybe watch it.
Go to Paisanos. Get a fucking baby.
Yeah, go to Paisanos.
I know.
I went on your Instagram a little bit. You guys have like MMA guests on here too. You guys big MMA fans?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we should hang out and watch MMA off the podcast one night.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
The real quick, I don't know if you know that area though. Across the street from Paisanos is a restaurant that my wife and I used to go to all the time. BYOB, and just as I fucking say this, and the name escapes my fucking brain. Awesome food. It's literally right across. Because every time we're there, I look across. I'm like, we should go to Paisanos.
Dude, Paisanos has amazing food. Just
I perform there for the food. I mean, I say yes for the food.
Do me a favor, pay me half and chicken piccata.
What day of the week's the 23rd? Is that
the Thursday?
Arch, come on, let's go. Stop fucking around.
All right, you ain't gonna yell.
We're gonna go support.
You want to go see a Jonah Hill movie first?
Yeah, we'll go watch. We'll watch Jonah Hill movie, and then we'll go.
All right.
Nice.
All right, brother. The great Joe Fernandes. Thank you very much for hanging out with us, brother. Good luck, and we'll definitely see you soon, man.
Hopefully, see you on the 23rd.
Thanks, guys. Nice to meet you. Good luck to you guys. Take care.
Right. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the great Joe Fernandes. That was funny. You know what? We haven't had a couple chucks like that in a while, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I didn't know I hated Jonah Hill so much.
Yeah, seriously, what the fuck? Why you spitting venom on Jonah Hill?
And I like Superbad, right? Great movie. There's other movies that he was in that I really like.
Moneyball,
awesome. Brad Pitt,
yeah,
great movie. That was actually a really good movie.
What is that? Why is he good? He gets on base. No.
Yeah. No. Perfect impression too. Sound just like him.
Brad Pitt. When you get a yes, hang up.
How come all right, so the reason I'm talking, I would never watch the Golden Globes in a million years, but I was doing freelance work the other night, and I put it on.
Giving guys hand jobs isn't freelance work. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Tell that to the IRS. So I put it on in the background. Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie was in the front row, But I can't tell you how many fucking stars
you could tell me. Come on,
come up to do their monologue and break to be like, Brad, oink wink, Mr. Pitt, Brad.
Why are you sitting in the front?
You know who Regina Hall is?
Regina Hall sounds very familiar.
She's an actress. You've seen her in a lot of shit. And in fact, no, I don't know if that was her. But you've definitely seen her if you saw her. But she was like, next up, Regina Hall. And they started talking, blah, blah, blah. She's like, excuse me.
Dude, we went to school with her cousin down the.
Ladies and gentlemen, how jokes bomb. But she's like, she goes, I think you got that wrong. It's Mrs. Pitt, right? Everyone. He must sit there with the biggest dick.
Yeah, he's probably like, I'm just slanging dick.
And his face, he's just like this. Yeah. Pointing, like the old, your foot. Yeah.
Got me. We should maybe get Brad Pitt's dick on the podcast to talk to it. I can tell a lot of stories.
Please.
Brad Pitt's, I don't know, man. I like Brad Pitt. He seems like a good dude.
With our reputation, his dick wouldn't even come. Waka.
Arch, I heard back from Brad Pitt's dick. It wants to know how many subscriptions we have, how many followers. If you just heard us talking to our boy Joe, then you're in the know. But we want you to go to our socials and say hello, because you just listened to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
We out.
If you just heard us talking to our boy Joe, then you're in the know. So you gotta go to all of our social. Don't do it. Don't do it. You fuck. Why do I do this? If you just heard us talking to our boy Joe, then you're in the know. Fuck. What was it? If you just heard us talking to our boy Joe.
Fuck it, eat the mic. Eat it.
Eat my dick. If you just heard us talking to our boy Joe, then you're in the know, because Archie likes to blow.
Whoop. Getting weird.
If you just heard us talking to our boy Joe, then you're in the know, because you just listened to the best fucking show. I'm getting there.
Yeah, no, sounds it.